Thank you all so much for joining me. What's up? How y'all feel? Welcome in to an episode, headline breaking news for the spirituality order in law heads. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining me today. Okay, you guys, so let's just go ahead and get into today's episode, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is I want to update you. Let me turn this down a little bit more because I feel like I'm yelling and the speaker is closer to you than I am. So listen. I want to update you on a reading that's on my page. It's called Now I'm Watching You. And it's like, it's got the little eyes icon at the front. It's like a month and a half old. This is an update on my own personal criminal stalking case. And I'm really tired of playing with these people that are stalking me. And I know for a fact who they are. So listen. See? That's my case number. But before we get there, let me give you a little background. I don't know if you got time, but I got to give you the background. And like I be telling you guys, on this channel, I have been documenting what has been happening in my life, because this is the only way that I have contact with my estranged family, because I don't deal with my family that has been attacking me, because it's not no tarot story for me. It's real life. And I don't know if you know this YouTube creator. His name is Jada Originator, but listen, what he's speaking the truth. And one of his things that he talks about is the Chosen One Olympics. And if you follow him, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm here to tell you that that is real. And that's something that I'm in. So let's go ahead and talk about it. What I'm going to talk about is my mom. And this is not no allegedly either, okay? My mother is a sophisticated, educated, highly decorated by paper type of female, right? And my mom, even though she was born in the early 50s, she was born in Northern Illinois. She wasn't born in Mississippi. And the reason why that's important is because she didn't go through a lot of the oppression that the people who were born in the 50s that they went through, because she was born outside of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? To be real with you, to be keeping a whole buck with you, her father was more European than he was African. I'm just being real. So anyway, my mom, she met my dad, who was from Mississippi, and he really got with her because of her education, her status, and her looks, right? Because he had him a city girl. Well, anyway, My mom actually has a lot of the spiritual gifts that I have, but she uses her spiritual gifts for evil. And when she met the man that she married, who is my stepfather, um, something happened between the two of them, right? Where she ended up getting pregnant with me with an outside person. But here's the thing, if you ever watched any of my Divine Children readings, you know that I tell you that two divine beings will come together in order to birth an ancestor. I mean, not an ancestor, an ascended master. So on my mom's destiny, since she was born to be a good goddess, she had that seed in her, that bloodline seed that had to continue on the good goddess bloodline, which is me, because I'm my mom's only girl out of 4 children, because it was destined for me to be here as that bloodline seed to continue that on, right? Okay. So she met my father, and she got pregnant with him outside her marriage, right? Okay. Hold on. Time out. I'm telling my testimony, but I got a comment because I said comments are welcome. Let's see. It says, Swipe says, hey, can I talk to y'all about Jesus? Now look, I know we all know Jesus loves us, but do you love him? If so, we must build a connection with him and repent and accept Christ as your personal Lord and Savior. Look, Swipe, listen. Child, you are interrupting my personal testimony about Jesus. Okay? And if you really want to do that, you should create a page and put posts like that on your community page, because some people, they really do react better to reading than talking. All right? Now, if you post anymore, I'm going to put you in timeout. So anyway, back to my mom, right? So I was born outside of her marriage, okay? But it was destined for me to be here, to have the father that I have, and to have the mother that I have, because as an ascended master, I needed a certain type of bloodline, okay? So I was born, and my mom hated me for that. You know what I'm saying? Now listen, this is a true story, and I got to tell you this part of the story before I could tell you about the criminal stalking case. It's all connected. All right? Now, my dad and my mom, they were also matched together because my dad is a Mason and my mom, she wanted to become an Eastern Star. Now, something's up with her and the Eastern Stars. I don't know if she actually joined the chapter or if they didn't accept her, or she joined and she got kicked out, or she joined and she just stopped affiliating. But I'm here to tell you that I know she has an affiliation with the Eastern Stars. Not only that, moving forward to the Masons and the Eastern Stars, okay? And my parents, who are LaSures. I got LaSure tatted on my arm, okay? And I'm talking about the LaSures. I'm finna talk about it and put it all on the table, because y'all are going to be held accountable for what you have been doing to Monica K. LaSure. Oh, yes. Yes, you are. Now I'm 10 minutes in, whatever. But I'm talking about the LaSures that are in the state of Mississippi in the United States of America, in northern Mississippi, Marshall County. Okay? My grandfather, Gilbert LaSure, who has passed on just recently, 2013, he 33-degree Mason, okay, basically ran Lodge 35 in Marshall County, okay. I am Monica LaSure, Gilbert LaSure's granddaughter, which also makes me whose granddaughter? Yeah, Miss Dallas LaSure, the Eastern Star, who was a treasurer in that county for what, 40 years? And the LaSure family systematically kept me a secret from both of these lodges as far as applying. Because not only that, I'm one of the oldest granddaughters. Check the description box, Xavier. I'm one of the oldest granddaughters in my family because my father is the third oldest out of 10 children. You see what I'm saying? So I was naturally born before a lot of the little cousins that don't like me. We don't like our cousin Monica LaSure. Guess what? Monica LaSure doesn't like you either. Yeah. I mean, are you surprised? You think I'm sitting around crying because you don't like me? But let's move forward to the Eastern Stars and the Masons and how you all didn't even tell me about the legacy in our family and how that I could have been in that legacy and outranked all you hoes. And I'm referring to my dad, 10 sisters, who are Eastern Stars in Marshall County. Let's talk about it. The LaShures, Arlene, Azalee, Renee. Come on now. But the biggest fake one of them all, Crystal, and this is not allegedly, because you all are my family and you are affiliated with those societies. So do what you want to do with this video because we're going to talk about it. You all sat up there and introduced Sharon and everybody else that you could to the Eastern Stars except me. Except me. And we don't have to say why. Because this video right here made today is proof why. That's why this had to be done live. You hoes are nothing but sad and, let me see, jealous. You mad because number one, Eddie is not even really my real father, but he stuck with my whole mama and raised me anyway. Despite her misusing me, mistreating me, and pushing me off on y'all mamas. I'm talking to my first cousins that I know are going to see this video. Yeah, see, my mama, she didn't even have the time to take care of me. I spent majority of my childhood in Holly Springs versus in outside Chicago where I grew up from, because my mom wasn't raising me, which is important to this story because see, Mary was supposed to raise me up to be like a proper Eastern Star. Anybody who know how my mama carried herself, how she dressed, how she wear her makeup, how she speaks, how she talk. My mom got a whole Bible college in Holly Springs. It's called Destiny Bible College, which I am not affiliated with. So if any of my hidden helpers come across any paperwork for Destiny Bible College and it has my name on it, I am not affiliated. I do not owe taxes. I don't sign off on paperwork. I don't sign off on degrees. And I don't owe any money that she may owe for that Bible college. My mom sits up here and she issues out bachelor's, master's, and doctoral theological degrees, but she don't talk to me. And not because I'm into tarot, because this is 5 years old. She ain't dealt with me since I was born. Let's just keep it a whole buck. Everything I learned and I got, I didn't get it from her. And anybody that know me and her, they know I'm not telling the truth. So go and hit the like button on that, even if you don't like the rest of this message, because you know I'm telling the truth. Okay? So anyway, they kept the Eastern Star legacy a secret from me because they knew once I got in, I was probably going to marry the finest and the richest and the most prominent one, Mason, that there was. Not like the one y'all tried to put off on Christy mustache ass. Because me and her not the same. So all the Masons Lodge 35, what's up? I'm Monica LaSure, but it's too late now because I didn't walk all the way up. And that's the thing about destiny. See, I don't have to steal nobody's destiny because who God created me to be, I was going to become anyway, right? Let's go ahead and just keep it a whole buck. Because you have the good Eastern Stars and you have the bad ones. Not all the Eastern Stars are like y'all goofy asses out here plotting and scheming and committing crimes and doing scams. You actually have some that do community service. They are leaders and community workers, and they care for other people, and they do have spiritual gifts, and they use those spiritual gifts to uplift. You have some that are missionaries and evangelists, and they not out here like the scutterbum ones that I'm related to. Unfortunately, I guess I'm related to you like by half family, since he not really my dad, but let's just be real, like the man raised me. He did more for me than anybody else. He did more for me than anybody else. So I can't take that away from him. But at the same time, I'm just saying you all intentionally kept Grandma Dallas LaSure's Eastern Star legacy against me. You didn't even want me to know nothing about it. And it only came to me through prayer meditation and tarot. Who the fuck I really am. So back to destiny, right? Like I was saying, I was always going to be a spiritual leader in my life. I have more than one option. I'm just being shown the different type of destinies that were put before me. See, when I was born, even though Mary and Eddie didn't have a lot of money, they had enough money to provide me with the type of lifestyle that most of the community that they deal with knows them by. Because they're known as kind of like prominent people that drive nice cars and live in nice houses. Am I lying? But when you see me, you wouldn't think that she was buying all my clothes from the Goodwill. Which brings me to the point where I got my cards here. Because these cards, they also have information about my childhood. And I was led to like use these cards as part of the testimony and to talk about what comes out. But I just been like, just talking. Because it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot. But this exposure, it needs to happen. See, look, this is what came out. This the evil side of the Masons right here. This the evil side of the Masons right here. And what I'm saying is, she was supposed to train me. If you know my mom, you know what I'm saying. She was supposed to do that. And she didn't do that. She didn't do that. She let me get it how I live. She had me trafficked as a little girl. I have memories coming back of being sexually abused. I know some of my cousins, male cousins that are still alive. I know you were sexually abusing me, okay? And one of my female cousins too. I mean, I remember it. I mean, come on, man. And nobody gave a fuck what happened to me, how it happened, when it happened, or nothing. Because they expected me to be drugged out and then take myself out for a lack of love and care in my life. And it never even happened like that. It just didn't even happen like that. So, since my mom didn't do what she was supposed to do and train me and have the LaSure family tell me about the Eastern Star legacy so that I could get on that path to like be a high-ranking Eastern Star and have a more prominent life than she ever would have had, God had to say, okay, we got to find another way to get her to her spirituality level. And that's how I got here right now. That's how I got here right now. Okay? So, instead of cultivating me and showing me how to be a woman, what she actually did was, that was the true word of the Most High God. What I'm telling you is the truth. This is the truth. This is my clarification card. I'm not lying to you. So what she actually did was, instead of doing that, she started praying against me and using her spell work. Because remember, I told you that my mom has spiritual gifts too. But instead of using her spell work for good, she was using her spell work for evil. And what she actually ended up doing was getting with these two lodges, the one that's in Aurora, Illinois, okay, and the one that is in Holly Springs. And they all decided that they were going to, do what they were doing to me. And they were. They were sex trafficking me as a little girl. I remember. I know y'all did a lot of memory spell work on me for me not to remember, but I'm here to tell you that I remember. And if you go back and you watch my earlier videos from like 2 years ago, I talk a lot about that on my channel, about what I remember as those memories came back to me. I'm looking for something on this phone. What is this? Okay. Okay. And plus that music, like the violin right now, it's so loud. Like yeah, it's throwing my vibration off of what I'm trying to talk about. And I feel like I'm yelling over it too. So what I'm telling you is the truth, okay? So since that destined path, that was like the easy path that God sent me here to do. But since they went against that and they used, word magic, dark magic, talking down on me, like I was raised to be only accepting secondhand things. But my parents, they had money. If you know my parents, I'm telling you, they have status quo. My parents aren't known for wearing secondhand stuff. But me, that's how they treated me. That was when she allowed me to come back home and live in the home at age 6. Because before age 6, she didn't raise me, okay? When you put all those pieces of the puzzle together and the fact that I went on to be successful in life anyway, they are still trying to destroy me. How? Because every community that I go to, guess who moves to the community that I go to? Guess. Guess who moves to the community I go to? My mom. Sam Line. Prove it. When I finished high school in 94 from East Aurora High School in Aurora, Illinois. Okay, it says live. You're live. It reconnected. Okay. So like I was saying, when I finished high school in Aurora, Illinois in 1994, those of you who know, you know that the LaSures were living in that house over there behind Allen in that little community back there, right? Mm-hmm. And they had a mishap, didn't they? They had to leave the house. Some of y'all know that, and some of y'all don't. Well, if you don't know, they had to leave the house. They were actually forced out of the house by the sheriff. That's not allegedly. So I don't gotta say allegedly. They were put out. Their stuff got put on the street. My pastor and brother Matthew, he called and told me what was going on. How their mom and dad were getting put out from my house that they were allegedly buying. Nobody can understand. I guess they weren't buying it. I guess they were just living there or something like that. I don't know. But people who pay their earthly debts, they don't get put out of their living quarters. So when they got put out, guess what Mary did? She packed up all her stuff and she moved to Jackson, where I was going to Jackson State University. She had to stay close to me. Out of all the places that she could have moved to, right? Out of all the places she could have went, she had to follow right behind me. Well, she came to Jackson and they were able to buy a house on the north side. And they put my little brother in Callaway. He was ninth grade, right? Now imagine living in the same house from kindergarten to eighth grade. And now you get to go to the high school that all your brothers and sisters went to, your hometown, and they moved him ninth grade year to a new school, right? That's what she did. She could have found another house in Aurora to move to. No, she came all the way down there. Followed me all the way down there because she felt like, okay, thank you, Holy Spirit. That's why you want me to use the cars. I know I'm 25 minutes in, but whatever. Because she felt like when I left and went to school that I was taking my energy, my power away. Because they didn't even help me go to school. I have a video where I talked about how I can say this now, but at the time when I was 17, I didn't know I was being led by my intuition, okay? But I have a video about how I was led by my intuition by God, and how he showed me how to apply for college. I didn't know then that that was God telling me that. I was just doing the things that I was hearing and what I was researching, and I followed those steps, and I was able to apply, get accepted to college, complete the the FAFSA and the Pell application, and put myself through college. I have a video about that. It's like 2 years old. And when I left and went to Jackson, now I can see in hindsight that I took my blessing, I took my energy with me. Y'all just don't even know. I worked so hard, came back and brought a car on their ass. When I left and went to college, I never went back home. And they didn't fund that shit for me. Okay. So she moved and she came to Jackson. Y'all remember that? She moved and came to Jackson. But it didn't work out for her in Jackson. The house that she was in, she wasn't happy there. I guess she couldn't make the connections that she was making. She had my brother in school and everything. And when I tell you they only stayed in Jackson for like 7, 8 months, they left. They left and went back. They left and went back to our hometown. But what ended up happening was I moved in the house with my first husband. And that's where I coincidentally got pregnant at. And shit went downhill from there. And now in hindsight, I feel like if I had never moved in the house that she left, which was probably filled with all type of spell work, I wasn't awakened at that time. Like my life went downhill. Like he was beating on me and everything. It was bad. And that's what it looks like when you are under spell work as an adult. You can't even make sound decisions for yourself. Because now that I'm awakened and they try to send spell work at me, it's so funny to me because it's literally the same type of spell work. It's nothing new. So, with that being the case, they're using these lodges that they have strong relationships with. Yeah, I'm going to bring it all the way back around. My parents, my strange parents, are using the Mason and the Eastern Star lodges that they're affiliated with. Ironically, the same lodges that I have a legacy in. A legacy now that they hid from me because my grandparents were both high ranking in Marshall County, Mississippi. I'm a little sure. If you're just joining me, yeah. If I was to apply to be an Eastern Star, it was told to me that I would come in and outrank everybody, especially with my spiritual gifts. But see, that was just one of the destinies that I had. And since they hid that from me, God decided to elevate me and ascend me in a different way. It's funny how that worked out, ain't it? So this is what they're currently doing. Because one of my baby daddies is an Eastern, not excuse me, well, he is an Eastern Star. I'm gonna keep you real. He's very feminine, but he's a man. Okay, so in his heart, he probably is an Eastern Star, but he's a Mason. I'm just keeping it real with you. So he got affiliated through my father, and they have been working against me, right? Because they think that I'm dick crazy, and they have been sending other little Masons towards me. They sent one towards me last month. And he actually made contact with me. It took him a while, but he made contact with me and we talked and everything. Yeah. I'm going to call him Damo. He's a Mason. He lied about it. He couldn't take me down and dick me down and come back and tell y'all things that I told him. He couldn't do it. You know why? Because when he really got up under me and he started talking to me, he found out that I wasn't the type to give out information. I just collect information. hmm Yeah. And Damo made contact with me at the same place that you got this crackhead stalking me. Yeah, let's talk about him. So that's just the history because these two dudes that I'm talking about, they're affiliated, okay? They're affiliated with a local lodge. I didn't look up the lodge number for Tate County, but whatever your lodge number is in Tate County, this is about you. Because you out here stalking the daughter of the Most High God. And you think that I'm naive because I'm always by myself. You think that I'm slow because I'm not saying what I see. You think that I don't know because I don't bring awareness at all times. But I'm always aware. I always know. And I'm always collecting information. So I made a video, right? 3111. And my nerves have finally calmed down. I'm glad I turned that music off because it had me too hyped. So there is a video on my page. It's called Now I'm Watching You. Excuse me. It's called Now I'm Watching You. And it has details of me being stalked at a hotspot that I do deliveries for, right? And I give description of different Masons in this lodge in Tate County that are stalking me. Well, after I did that video, it fell off for a couple weeks, or so I thought. What's today? Tuesday? Mm-hmm. This must have been Saturday. I seen one of the gentlemen that I described in the other video, the real dark, older black one, right? I'm in the spot doing what I do. I look up and I see him going out the exit door. He didn't say nothing to me. He was walking fast as hell, too, trying for me not to see him. But see, when you led by God, the God say, turn up, look right, look at that. Watch your surroundings. You do that. And I turned and I looked, and guess what the fuck I saw? And I didn't even see him from the front. I saw him from the back. That's how in tune I am to my surroundings. So I gave him time. I watched him walk to his car. And he didn't even get in the car right away. He turned around to see if I was watching him, but he didn't see that I was watching. I was watching you. Just like the title of that video, I'm watching you. So when he did finally get in his car, when he thought the coast was clear, he got in this little white four-door Chevy sedan. It's a four-door small Chevy sedan, and proceeded to drive his goofy ass off. And guess what I did? I got his plate number. Yes, I did. Because you know what I always tell you over here on spirituality, order, and law. This channel is not for entertainment. And if you resonate with anything and you feel like you need to report it to local law enforcement, you need to do that. I'm not here to tell you to do something stupid and get yourself in trouble, get yourself hurt, harmed, or maimed. You need to report it to the local law officials. And if you're in a position where you feel like you can't report it to your local law officials, I don't care what state you live in the United States of America, they have state police departments. And I'm sure they have one that you can get to. I'm also being led to say this right here. If it's somebody from your past who you feel like has committed, I don't care if it's a white collar crime against you, and they want to come together and meet up with you and kumbaya and talk, you tell them to meet you at the motherfucking police station. Because it ain't no need of them talking to you. They need to let the police know what they did or what they know. I just saw that order. I'm serious. You need to tell them, meet me at the police station. This serious. This not for entertainment. If you resonate and you have proof, you heard me say this before, report it to your local law officials. So that's what I did. I took my own advice. I got this goofy license plate, and I gotta tell y'all, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry, but I'm gonna tell you the truth, y'all. I reported it to the local police department, and when I tell you, they got on it ASAP. This is a police department that cannot be purchased. Period. You can't buy this police department that's helping me. No, you can't. I called 911. She's like, what's wrong? I was like, he's talking to me. She said, he's talking to me. He's talking. Who? I don't know. But I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And every time I see him doing this. And she said, what? I said, yes. She said, where are you at? I said, I'm on my way back to that place I told you that he was stalking me at. And she said, okay. I said, but look, I got his plate number. She said, you do? Give me his plate number. I gave her the plate number. Y'all, by the time I got back to the place that I was at and the police was there, they had this full picture on their phone. Evidence. And you know what just came to me? Thank you, Holy Spirit. If I do have really any problems, the place that I'm at is so heavily guarded with video cameras. You are real goofy. You stalking somebody in a place where there's public video cameras. Oh, thank you, Holy Spirit. I asked the police when they were there, right? Because the case number is on there. I don't want you to see the case number. I asked the police when they were there, right? I said, if this person continues to stalk me, is it okay for me to video this person stalking me? Or to take a picture of the person stalking me? And this police department right here said yes, that you can video a person in public and photograph them in public if you feel as though they're stalking you. You just can't like go to their house or follow them in the bathroom or do something in private. That's why I keep telling you to get it in black and white and report it. So I got those public cameras that can be accessed if needed. I got your plate number. Like, I didn't pick your plate number out of all the places, out of all the world, and then ID your picture just like that. Stop playing. You're not going to criminally stalk me, Masons of Tate County, and send fake ass niggas in and try to make it seem like they want to date me. No. So, going back to my parents, who you have relationship with, the little sheriffs from Marshall County. You need to stop listening to them because you're not going to do nothing but get your lodge in a bunch of trouble. Just like my baby daddy lodge is in a bunch of trouble because he's a goofball too. And I'm not even going to say I'm tired of y'all. I'm happy to expose y'all. You know why? Because the more I expose you all as I go along, the less that I have to prove that it happened in the end. I'm not going to have to go back and be like, oh, this happened, that happened. You guys are going to prove it for me with your actions. Right, Damo? He couldn't do it. And I'm going to tell you something about Damo. Y'all trained him really good. You tried to tell him everything to say and what to do. But you know when I knew the jig was up? When he asked me if I was a witch. He was like, you're not a witch, are you? Like, nigga, you just met me. We on the phone for the first time and you want to use that type of lingo with me? Then he tried to say he was somebody from my past life. And he looked just like my ex that I was crazy about. Which the more I think about it, he really could be my ex-cousin. Because my ex Mason too. And they all lie about it. And if you think that someone's a Mason and you directly ask them if they're a Mason and they tell you no, they asked me but I wasn't ready, they're a Mason. That's a trained response to give, not to say that they're a Mason. And the other thing they'll do is they'll always mention somebody that you know that is a Mason and say, oh yeah, but I know so-and-so's a Mason. Well, guess what? He knows you're a Mason too. And so do I. And so do everybody else that's going to view this video that's having problem with you goofies who think you're so smart. I'm not even affiliated with y'all and I'm figuring y'all out. So keep on stalking me. Keep on sending goofy ends to me. Because I'm telling you, Damo, he almost got stuck. He was catching feelings. I don't care what he tell you. He got scared too. Because I could see. It was like he was trying to get in my head and I was like, nah. And he would say things and like my intuition is like, bruh, you ain't even that type to be even trying to talk to me on no intuitive level. He's just spilling out the stuff that you all trained him to say. So yeah, I'm here to expose you. So your fake lover didn't work and your stalker's going to get locked up. You need to stop working with my parents, somebody needs to go to the Mississippi State Police and tell what you know before it's too late. Can you not tell? I am protected. So that's the update. Listen, if you resonate, this is a criminal channel, not for entertainment, and you are dealing with any type of criminal issues in your life, like I'm dealing with criminal stalking, get your proof, get your black and white, and get your case number, just like I did. I got a real live case number. And you know the last thing the police told me before they left? They said, do you want us to go over there and talk to him? It's up to you now. I said, hell yes. I want you to talk to him. Because this Native American right here need to be protected. And you need to let him know that I see him and I'm not playing with him. And it brought tears to my eyes to finally meet a police department that actually is not going to get bought out, baby. And that's the update on my criminal stalking case. Okay? And that's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. You know, I'm going to clean this energy out, and we're going to go ahead and do some news update lines across the USA. But to the LaSure family in Marshall County and throughout the United States, wherever you are stationed at, you guys really messed up because I was the key sent to the family to elevate everybody. That's why y'all plateauing. You'll figure it out in 2027. Most High God, thank you so much for allowing me to share my testimony. I ask that my archangels that they close any portals and timelines that I may have access. God, I ask that you are pleased with that which I have shared. I did see an orbit going through, so that gives me comfort and clarity to know that I am doing that which you have called me to do. As I close this message out, I want to say to those of you that watch this 43-minute long testimony that I be saying stuff that I don't know what type of weight it holds, but I feel strong that the testimony that I just gave, that it is going to clarify some things for some people that had questions. And that's why I'm grateful that I allowed the Most High God to go ahead on and to use me. Okay? Now, I'm just trying to think if I want to end this live and then like start a new live with the USA news because it is already 44 minutes in, or if I want to just do the USA news and keep it on this live because it's going to be buried so deep in the live. Yeah, I think I'm going to end this live. Okay, I'm going to change the title. This is going to be like a testimony about my, what's going on in my life and an update on my criminal stalking. So I'm going to change the title and then I'm going to come back and we're going to do the USA News update. Okay, guys? Thank you so much to everybody. All right. that came in. I know how this was going to go. You see my emotions, they went up and down. But I'm grateful that I was obedient because I don't come on here and share stuff like that for clout. I only share things like that I'm led to. And also, when this live does upload, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the video that I kept referencing as the related video, okay? So I just want to ask that my protectors, that they guard my intellectual properties, and that my archangels close any portals and timelines I access, and that my goon squad get them if they fuck with me in the 3D. That was the true word of the Most High God.